Hold on. Ta-da!
I love it.
I'm so glad you're here. I love it too, Ruby. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you guys to meet this wonderful soul. And I've been doing her numbers, and we have so much in common. It's no wonder I met her. It's the cosmic connections I tell you guys about. Now, Ruby, rise with purpose. This woman never misses a beat. And this is what I want us all to learn more about, especially me. Live on TikTok. Y'all don't be scared of TikTok now. I'm telling you, don't make me come for you. Follow Ruby on TikTok. Got about almost 13.5 thousand people. She's live Monday through Friday, 5:30 in the morning until 9:30, sometimes longer. And then she does more because she has a shop too. We get to shop over there. You got to come. And then on Saturday and Sunday, does she take a break? No. 6:30 in the morning till 10:30, often longer, often multiple times a day on TikTok. You're really missing a lot. So, Ruby, I'm so glad to bring you over here to YouTube. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
For some of you who are new, I am Elizabeth. It's True to It Connections. Why? True It is one of my family ancestral names I've always loved.
Thank you.
So I love that you can see, I'm being bad about this. We do have Ruby's link. It'll be in the description and all of that stuff. Peggy says your TikTok is so fun. Oh wait, sorry. There.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I think that's one of the important.
Jennifer Lee in the house. She's yes. Welcome in, Jennifer. So
Jennifer,
nice to see you. Yes. Oh, Michael is here too. Thank you guys. Okay, so
welcome in, everybody.
Yeah, Ruby. There's so much I need to learn about you, but I am so inspired when I wake up with you in the morning. You just make my day. And I know it's not been easy all the time. So tell people, and part of you, how creative, how you're a natural born leader. You're a star. Like you are so good at networking. Your chart is like off the chain. And I know that you mentioned back in the day, you were doing technology stuff.
I was. Coding. I actually got my associate's degree back in 1992 in computer systems. So I was writing a computer language, but I don't speak computer anymore. I have to call my little brother or one of my good friends, Eric, to be able to help me just connect something to a microphone. But I am great with software. I'm not very good with the hardware.
Yeah, well, me either. So you guys, I was drawn to Ruby, as you will be too, because as you've heard me mention all my trauma and waking up with morning grief forever. So when I wake up, I need guided meditation. I need something to get me going. I get out, I walk, I do all those good things. But I found Ruby. And she's amazing. And and in the spiritual world, sometimes we don't know how we're going to be perceived. Am I the good witch, the bad witch? All that. Is Ruby going to understand me? Is Ruby going to understand me? And you know what she did, y'all? Guess what she does? She pulls angel cards for people. Oh, they're upside down. And I was like, oh, my soul sister, my tribe, here I am. So, coffee in the house. You guys follow Coffee Talk Money Moves. That's the other Liz. She's a Liz too. She makes soaps and body butters and all this. You guys, if you're not following all of us on TikTok, I don't know what you're doing. And follow us on YouTube. Again, I'll put all the links in. So, all right, I've got to share Ruby with you now. So I'm going to be quiet. She's been through a lot physically, and this is for all of us physically and mentally, emotionally. feeling stuck, feeling all the feels, take it over, Ruby. Tell everybody how you've made so much wisdom from the wounds.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me on this platform, because I definitely do want to grow much further with YouTube. As far as where I am right now, my channel on TikTok is all about motivation, inspiration, and empowerment. A lot of us that are dealing with chronic illness, chronic pain, and mental health issues, we wake up in the morning a lot of times feeling very isolated, very much alone, because nobody really understands what we're going through. We get things like, you don't look sick, you're just being lazy, you just need more sleep. Why don't you just drink some water? Some ridiculous things that people say, not realizing that a lot of autoimmune issues, a lot of mental health issues, anxiety, depression, ADHD, PTSD, MS, lupus, fibromyalgia, cancer. There are so many things that can affect us with our mental health and really disconnects us from the people that we live with. So sometimes the people that are the closest to you in proximity are the ones that are furthest to you in your soul. It could be your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide. I am a little bit spicy. I am originally from New York. So the idea of where I am now has not been an easy road. I have gone through many things myself with my health, both physically and mentally. When I was 25 years old, I was looking for ways not to see 26. It was a very difficult time in my life. I had just gotten married, but I was in a relationship that I really didn't want to be in. And it was just a dark period of my life. As far as my physical health, I personally deal with chronic kidney disease, osteoporosis, lupus, idiopathic intracranial hypertension, abdominal aortic aneurysm, and I am also dealing with a heart issue now. But what I've realized is that through all of those things, I'm still here. I'm still here. I have survived all of the things that I've been able to, get through. So there's a reason, and there was a purpose. And I realized I have to wake up with purpose. I rise with purpose every single day. Whether that purpose is for me to just be able to take a certain situation and flip it around and try to look for something good out of it. Everybody goes through things in life. Everybody has hurdles in front of them. Everybody deals with it differently. What I want to be able to do is encourage people to understand that you are not disabled in any way, shape, or form. I don't care what it is that you're dealing with. But if you wake up in the morning and you take a deep breath, then you have the ability to do something that day. And you definitely have the ability to make a positive impact on another person's life, even through debilitating pain. If you have the chance to pick up your phone and send a message to a friend, hey, I was just thinking about you. Trust and believe that's going to make a difference in somebody's day. And that can give you a little, that little dopamine hit in your brain to say, I did something good today. I'm going to build on that. And that's really where the whole Rise with Purpose, came about. I started talking on TikTok. Originally in the summertime, I was doing music at night. We were just hanging out. We had spicy talk, and it was fantastic.
So fun. I love Latin music night.
Latin music night. We do 80s. I'm Gen X, baby. So, I love all kinds of music. I will say that my mom had suffered something in the beginning of November, and she had 6 nerve palsy. Then a couple of weeks later, she got Bell's palsy. Then a couple of weeks after that, her third cranial nerve kind of disconnected. And thank you so much, Peggy. I appreciate that. It was because of that I started going on early in the morning, because I was doing a lot of things for her during the day, the cooking and the medications and all that kind of stuff, that I was like, I still want to go on TikTok, but when am I going to find time? I was like, I'll just go on at 4:00 in the morning. Who cares, right? I'll go on at 4. And I really started talking about my whole kidney issue. I am a kidney transplant recipient as well. I'll get into that a little bit later. Okay. But when I started talking about that, some people would come through and go, oh my God, I can't believe what you've been through. And I'm like, well, that's just one of the things. I've also been through blah, 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 blah. And then more and more people started coming through, and I realized this is a whole community of people out there looking for someone to be able to hear them. I can't tell you how many years I was screaming on the inside and I never felt heard. Nobody heard my voice.
Same.
Right? Nobody heard my voice. And I realized now. So I do something in my live stream, and it's very similar to this. So I'll put something in front of the camera and I'll say, can you tell me what that is? Can you take a guess at all as to what that is? All right. You're so into it. You're so close up that you cannot see it. That's the same thing that happens with us in life when we're in the middle of trauma. However, as time goes on and we start to get further and further away from it, it becomes clearer. So right now I'm looking at my life in the past and I'm able to see things much more clearly. All right. So that's a lip pencil, by the way.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
But when you're in it, it is so, you know, you just don't see clearly and you're not thinking clearly and you're not able to really put your emotions and what you're feeling into a proper way where somebody else is going to understand. I say every single day that Spoonies, anyone dealing with chronic illness, chronic pain, and mental health issues, tend to be very artistic and tend to believe in the mystic. Now, the reason for that, my belief, and by the way, I am not certified in any way, shape, or form. I am simply speaking from my heart and from my experience. The artistic side of us comes out through a painting, through crafting, through writing, because it is a good way of putting something that we feel inside into a tangible form where somebody else can see it and say, wow, that painting looks really dark. What are you going through? All right. Or what a bright, beautiful painting. You must have been feeling really good. And that's a way of us putting our emotions into something tangible. The mystic side of it, believing in angel signs, believing in energy, that is something that we feel, but we don't necessarily see. So just like our immune issues, just like our mental health, our chronic illness, we feel it, but other people don't see it. So that's why I believe the two go hand in hand.
Such a good point. Such an amazing point. And also I see it in your numbers, but we'll get there. Now, can you elaborate
I'm
more
excited to hear about the numbers.
I know. Oh my gosh, I know. And your astrology, it all just makes so much sense. And why, you know, I said there's a cosmic connection here. I gotta meet her. And coffee with Liz, or coffee with Liz, that's what I'm gonna call her. You know, I can see the connection between you two. I don't know if you've ever met in person, but like
We have not. We met on TikTok.
And hi to everybody in the chat. We love you. Mwah.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, by the way.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I really would love to hear more about the spoon concept and all of that. And again, how you bring it every day. Because you could easily say, well, you know, I got to do all this stuff for family and these responsibilities. I'm not going to go live today, but you do. And I need a piece of that. You give me some of that.
Okay. Absolutely. So first of all, the spoon theory. If nobody has heard of the spoon theory before, the theory was written in 2003 by a woman named Christine Miserandino. And she was living with lupus, which is an autoimmune issue. She was out at a meal with friends and she was trying to explain what it's like to live with chronic illness and wake up with limited amounts of energy. So sitting at the dinner table, she picked up a spoon and said, pretend that this is a unit of energy. Some days I wake up with 1 spoon, some days with 2, some days with 3. It all depends on what's going on with my body. And it now includes chronic illness, chronic pain, and mental health issues, which I love that aspect because I think that really brings people together even more so, right? So if I wake up in the morning and my anxiety is really kicking my butt that day and it's through the roof, just getting out of bed and the idea of getting into the shower is so debilitating mentally, emotionally, and physically that it is extremely draining. And you will lose an entire spoon or an entire unit of energy for the day. You just lost 33% of your energy, right? So now
completely get that.
Now you still have to make your coffee, possibly get your, all right. You probably still have to make the coffee, get breakfast ready, get the kids ready, and get yourself out the door. And just sitting in the car in your driveway for about 20 minutes, trying to figure out as you're white knuckling the steering wheel, how the hell am I going to get through the rest of today? You just lost another spoon. You've got 1 left. Let's not even talk about the traffic you have to drive through. Let's not even talk about, you know, the doctor's appointment you have to get to before you even get to work. and then, you know, everything else that's going on, and you're barely starting your day, and this is all you've got left for energy. So the spoon theory, to me, it's a wonderful way for people to visually see that. That's why I say many of us dealing with chronic illness, chronic pain, and mental health issues tend to be very artistic, where we can take an emotion, a feeling, and put it into something tangible, something that can be seen, something that can be heard. I don't know if I'm choppy for everybody, or if that's just my service. I see myself kind of
A,
as
a little
far
bit, but
as,
we can hear everything you're saying.
okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure. As far as balancing my home life with my TikTok life, it very much crosses over quite a bit. I have learned that a lot of the people that I have met on TikTok have become my family, and they have become a lot of, you know, the inspiration and the motivation that I need in the morning. And I tell them all the time, my show, you know, it says at the top, morning TikTok, inspiring one spoon, inspiring and motivating one spoon at a time. And I tell everybody that's each other. Don't, please don't ever confuse it. I would not even do a morning talk show, if that's what you want to call it, on
Yeah.
TikTok if it wasn't for people showing up every single day. They
Yeah.
motivate me to get out of bed.
Oh, I love that.
Right.
Yes. There is such a good ebb and flow there. It's an amazing community. And again, thank you all for
It
being
is.
here. Um,
Hi everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for being here.
I know they hear me say a lot of times when I was having that tough year and some of the stuff I told Ruby about, I finally got some therapy. You know, that's always important. We're not giving out any mental advice here, but I went to the therapist, who I still love and adore and go when I need. It's better now, not perfect, but she said, just try to do three little things a day. And some days that is just taking a shower. She said it is just making sure you're okay and everybody else is okay. And, you know, 3 little things a day. And so when I heard you explaining it with the spoon, it's amazing. Because I am better, 11 years on my birthday, cancer free, but I've had an autoimmune disorder all this time as well. That's probably what's maybe the root of everything, you know, Ruby.
Right.
So my energy is and my moods and the anxiety, all of it that's built up over time is better, but it's, you know, healing never ends is what I tell people. And so whenever I find people that can really help where I was, where I fall into, you know, we're not perfect. We fall back into these things, or people trigger us. And so to have these tools and to hear other people's story, I just is so amazing. And I love that. And thank you for just being you. And I don't know. Okay. They're talking about therapy, and yeah, very cool. Ruby does have an amazing community. So
we are loving it.
Now, what led to all the kidney trouble? Do you want to go into that a little bit, and some
Sure.
of your
Yeah, that's
medical journey and how you're dealing?
I'm an open book when it comes to my health, and actually I have been in the process for a few years now of writing my story. I've also been in the process of creating a kidney health book geared towards parents having conversations with their children. I've done all the illustrations. It's just a matter of pushing forward and actually getting that done. So I'm excited about that. That'll be something that's happening this year. So I'm excited. In 1998, my PCP noticed that there was a change in the function in my kidneys. And it wasn't something that was like, oh, this is you know, an impending thing, but let's just keep an eye on it type of thing. Now you got to remember, 1998, I wasn't exactly in the best mental state. It was probably like I said, I had just gotten recently married. I wasn't exactly happy in that marriage or with myself in my own skin. So I really didn't pay much attention to the whole kidney function. Fast forward to 2008. In 2008, my kidney function had gone to a 3B. Now there are 6 stages to kidney kidney failure. Stage 1, 2, 3A, 3B, 4, and 5. Stage 5 is kidney failure. So I was already at 3B. I'm sorry, that was 2013. 2013, I went to a nephrologist, and the nephrologist, which is a kidney specialist, said, this is moving pretty fast. So we're going to take a very hard approach to try and slow down the kidney damage and see if we can do something, with this. But there's no guarantees. So they put me on, I'm not sure on YouTube if I can talk about certain medications. So I'll just say an RX. They put me on a very high dosage of a particular RX, that ended up giving me osteonecrosis of the hips. And I was on it from July of 2013 until December of 2013. In March of 2014, as I was walking, I felt popping in my hips. And I didn't know what was going on there. And by May, I was using wheelchairs, mechanical devices, whatever, to be able to walk around, because I just couldn't walk anymore. And July 22nd, 2014, I got a double hip replacement surgery. And that was due again because of the medication that they gave me to try and slow down the kidney damage. That was 2014. In 2015, I had a DVT in my left leg, which is deep vein thrombosis. My body is highly coagulable.
Okay. So if I look down, it's because I'm looking at years that I remember I mentioned to you. What happened when you were 6? I'm looking. Okay, keep going.
Okay. In 2017.
Okay, 17.
Yeah. So 2015 was the DVT, which is a deep vein thrombosis. And again, that was a situation where I was basically paralyzed from the waist down because I had a big clot in my leg. And had I not caught it, that would have been another situation. I wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean? So the resilience that the universe has bestowed upon me, it makes me believe even more so that there is a purpose more than just me eating peanut butter all day and doing a live stream.
You want to know more about that
obviously
peanut butter.
There's somebody out there.
Go ahead. Yeah. I said I do want to know more about the peanut butter.
For sure.
I see you every day. I'm like,
yes, it is delicious. In 2017, I went away for a weekend with a couple of girlfriends. We went down to Atlantic City. We were having a great time. We were having our drinks and out to a meal. And I tasted my food and I said, this tastes weird. It tastes like metal. And I had the girls taste it. They said, it tastes fine to me. And I thought maybe it was the alcohol I was drinking. I was like, I don't know. I'll just have another drink. That week I came back and I was still tasting the metal. So I made an appointment with my doctor. And when I explained to her what I was feeling, she said, you need to get to the emergency room. I said, what do you mean? I feel fine. She goes, trust me, get to the emergency room. And within 2 hours of me going to the hospital, in the emergency room, they put a chest catheter in and I was on dialysis. I was in kidney failure. Wow. I had reached stage 5. Yeah. So, May,
I've had that
at the
metal
end of May,
taste. I know what that metal taste is like.
Please, there are so many different signs of things that could be happening with your kidney function that people just kind of push it to the side. Itchy skin, foam in your urine, or it could just be like bubbles. I used to think, oh, I'm peeing really hard. I just made bubbles in there, but it's something so minuscule that you don't even think about it. The metallic taste is huge. That means that your kidneys are not filtering properly. There's a problem. Please, when you speak to your doctors, if they tell you, don't even worry about it, say, no, I want to speak to a nephrologist. The nephrologist can do the proper testing to check your EGFR, which is your glomerular filtration rate. Now, anyone under 15, it's between 15 and 20% function, will go on dialysis. Mine was at a 15 at that point. So I was immediately put on dialysis in the hospital. And, with the lumps that I have on my arm, this is from the dialysis needles. Dialysis, for those of you that don't know, is when you get attached to a machine and it basically pumps out, it sucks out your blood, cleans it up and pumps it back in. That's the basic layman's terms of what actually happens, because your kidneys are supposed to function 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Mine had failed. They weren't doing anything. So a machine, to be able to do it 4 hours a day, 3 days a week, it wasn't the greatest option, but I had 3 options: dialysis, transplant, death. That's it. There are no other options. Um, uh, Today would have been my mother's birthday. Oh, Michael Malloy.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael, for
Birthday
that.
to your mama. Happily birthday to your mom.
Yeah.
So it was just an instant thing. I didn't really have time to react, to kind of figure out. My life just changed. There goes my full-time work career. There goes
Yeah.
trips to be able to make. I used to go travel with my girlfriends all the time. So it was an adjustment that really didn't sit in because avoidance. I avoided it. I'm really good at avoiding things. It's part of my uh, one of my strengths and one of my biggest battles that I have to fight every day, because some things I have to be able to take head on.
Yeah. I know when I was told I had breast cancer and these options, I have a picture. I'm just like, you're just like, what? There's Angie. Hey, baby. She's
Thank
going
you
through
so
it
much.
right now. So she's running on maybe one spoon
Yeah.
there, Angie. We
And you
love
know
you,
what? A lot of
girl. A lot of
on many
self-care right
days we're
now.
just running on spoon fumes.
She's probably on spoon fumes. Yeah, she's been through it. So, thank you for sharing all of that.
Absolutely. Thank you for
I can
asking.
so relate. And you had to go through dialysis for so long. I know part of my recovery was going in a hyperbaric chamber right out of it. All my surgeries were 8 hours too. Can we just that's enough, right?
Right.
And then the infection, but 8 hours in this surgery, what I call an amputation. I get aggravated when people say, "Oh, you had a boob job." I'm like, "No, I did not."
No.
And then I was doing the hyperbaric chamber to help with yada, yada, yada. So they wanted me to do that 6 days a week, 3 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it for 3 weeks. And then that's when I got an infection. And they had to pull me out because some infections are fed by oxygen, some are starved. So they didn't want to take a chance. So they pulled me out. But every day going and doing stuff, when you going and getting dialysis, oof, right? The energy it takes to do that. So I imagine going live on TikTok is easier. Right? Considering what we've had to get up and do, some days I'm like, what is with my anxiety? I've done a lot of more hard things. Let's go, Liz.
I think it's the fear of a lot of people have this, and I did in the beginning when I first started going live on TikTok. It was, I don't know what somebody's going to think about me. I'm afraid of what they're going to say. Guess what? Who cares? We have a story to tell. We have people that need to hear exactly what you went through. I wrote in my notes today, lick the spoon. I love it. I love that. That's awesome. There's always somebody out there that's listening that needs to hear our story. There will always be people out there that go, but you don't look sick. You're just being lazy. You're just using it as an excuse. I'm not using it as an excuse. I'm using it to propel me forward. I will say that today I was blessed to receive a kidney transplant in April of 2022. So it was 6 years, 6 long years on dialysis that kicked my ass. It did. But I was stubborn. And I kept working part-time on the days that I wasn't doing dialysis. I was working. I was playing golf. I was like, let's go. I couldn't travel the way that I used to. But I was like, there's no way that this is going to stop me. And, when I get down on myself, which I do that a lot, and some days I'm questioning, am I doing the right thing? Tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact, for those of you that are following me on TikTok, I am not going to do my morning live stream because I need to take a mental break. And I need to take a break but I will be going live in the afternoon. So I'm playing golf tomorrow morning.
Good. Yeah. Do it, girl. Love it.
I'm going to a golf course where I used to play.
I love it. I can't wait to hear about your day. That's awesome. Yeah, we have to balance this all out. And that's, I love that you say that, because um, consistency with my anxiety and everything, and sometimes using that as a crutch can make me procrastinate, not show up. And so, but
Right.
there are days where we really just need a break, So I love that you
Absolutely.
say that.
Yeah, and it's not just that you need a break when your body is falling apart. We need to start incorporating rest and recharge in our daily lives. People have a
Yeah.
tendency, and especially a certain generation, we have a tendency of saying, if you have time to lean, you have time to clean. Why aren't you busy doing something? Let's go, let's go, let's go. But the fact of the matter is that I can't keep going unless I recharge and reset myself, so that I can move forward with a better positive attitude. Because guess what? If I keep pushing myself, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to make more mistakes. I'm not going to put as much of my soul into a particular project, because now I'm mad that I'm tired. As opposed to saying to myself, okay, now I changed my times. I tend to just keep going and not rest, says Peggy, right? So
Yeah,
that's one of the
she
things.
does. She does.
Yeah. And realize that in order for your body and your mind to function better, I'm not going to say properly, because I'm still working on mine. And what you said before, Liz, about healing, healing is not a destination, by the way. Healing is a constant. We are
Yeah, it
constantly
never ends.
evolving, we are constantly changing. So
Yep.
when people get frustrated that they haven't gotten over something just yet, I'm not healed. And you're not going to be completely healed, because there's going to be different things to work on all the time. If we
Yeah,
change
and
our mindset,
triggered.
because that's what I'm all about,
Yeah,
we change the
totally.
mindset, we change the way we look at it, then it's a different way of approaching life, and it could be a
Absolutely.
lot easier.
And I love that. And I know it. I operate in that energy, but some days I just forget, and I just
Yeah.
get all caught up in our mind. We all do it. And
Right.
that's where, we have to drop into our heart, that place of gratitude. Easier said than done when you're like, like,
Yeah.
look at my body. We could start with that, you know what I mean? Just like go
Yeah,
all over.
exactly.
It's really important, our perspective. Um, well, let's see. There were a couple other things. I mean, if there's so much I could tell everyone about your lives. Oh, you know what I found amazing?
What's
Amazing.
that?
As a content creator, how you spend time teaching people how to make videos, how to use the app, how to use the filter. Do you know the amount of money I have spent trying to get help with that, and you're doing it for free? And I still suck at it. Excuse
That's
my, you know what I mean? Like, it could be so much better for the, and I'm like, she's just do what? And what filter? And I
and listen,
mean, it's so
honestly,
sweet of you. It makes me want to slap some people I've paid in the past.
that's one of the things that drives me a little bit bananas about TikTok. And a lot of these people that are coming out and saying, if you want to learn how to go viral on TikTok and you want to learn how to make videos, guess what? That information is free. You're not doing anything by selling me some sort of product. So I know why I went to TikTok. I was looking for a connection. I was looking for somebody to help me. And I want to be able to be
Yeah.
that person for somebody else.
Oh,
I
I
think
know. And your
it's
merch, and the way you help other people with their merch, and the way, this is where I'm going to take you down your little numerology path, okay? Because you
oh, I'm
are
excited. Let's go.
a natural born leader. Some of you, Meredith, maybe a lot like Reese, but different. Reese is another guest I had on. I seem to attract these amazing, strong women. I don't know what's happening. So I do want to tell you, Ruby, that I think you wrote down that, and you guys, I'm going to speak numerology now. Nothing to worry about. It's just a different language. And most
Thank you, Peggy.
numerologists, for those of you who haven't um, seen me read, most numerologists will tell you you're one number. And that's a lot like saying you're just one sign in astrology. Oh, and I love this saying for all of you listening. who are new to astrology. And Ruby, write this down. And then we'll talk about your numbers. So understand, in astrology, you're not just one sign. You're a sun sign, a moon sign, Mercury, all the signs, all the planets, all the houses. We feel everything. Some of it's a bit stronger. So for example, Ruby is a Cancer sun. So am I. So are a few people in this chat. Her moon, her emotions, she's a Leo, red, fiery, spunky. That's how she feels, loves, operates in this world. It's all about just a lot of your essence. Mercury, also, that's how you think and communicate, Leo. Saying it with your chest, girl, saying it with your chest. And I say that because
I love it.
You have Mars and Mercury in a close conjunction that just makes you, give me a task, give me a challenge. I got you. Your rising sign is how you're kind of perceived, actually. And it's sort of, or not sort of, it's the way the stars were aligned when you were born. So it's pretty significant. And you're a Virgo, a rising Virgo, which I will tell you guys, that's her consistency. That's her attention to detail. She's very organized. She organizes while she's live. It's so cute. Like, wait a minute, let me clean. I'm going to clean my desk. You guys got,
OCD.
And by the way, she's not live on
my
TikTok for an hour. She's live for 4 hours and multiple times a day. Dedication, organization, all of that. It shows in your astrology. It's amazing. Some things I noticed, you recently had a Chiron return. Okay, that's about some wounds from the past. So I think over the last couple of years and looking at your numerology, there might be some things that you've really obviously still been working on, healing, as we talked about, going even deeper into your spiritual journey, I would think, based on that. And your Chiron is in Aries in your 8th house, which that's a whole nother language, but I could see where it's really, you're going through a rebirth, Ruby, in my opinion, from a numerology standpoint. So I'm going to go there. It shows from your astrology too, but this is like a whole new clean slate for you. And it's going to be amazing. Not sure what the last couple of years were like, but right now you're in a year of reflection and moving into a year of expansion and then empowerment. And it's just,
let's go. I'm ready.
Let's go. Whatever happened a little bit back there, we're growing out of that. You still might want to withdraw a little bit. You're still like feeling the feels, but it's amazing. And not only 2025 is a life path year 2 for you. That's my lingo. When you hear life path, some people say that's your energy. No, it's the year you're rolling in my language, okay? And that's reflection. So I know you had been through some disruptions, but now you're reflecting, and you are a life energy 3. That's how I say it. Overall, you're a 3. So in 2026, it's a rebirth for you. It's a 3-year, and you're a 3. And it's a year of expansion. I just feel all the good feels for that. Now, much like astrology, I honor all the dates in your birth date. So you're not just one number, you're not just one sign. So your code is 3. That's the Empress, my love. You're all the queens. All the queens. You're the seed. You're somebody who can really plant the seed, okay? Then your next number is a 4. That's the ruler, the emperor. Like, you've got the queen and king in you. You got it, girl. You can really lead. You can start projects. You can lead them. You can finish them. You're the boss. Now, there's more to say about that. And I want to read, mostly given time, the the energy around the 4, because you have it, your dad has it twice. And I want to read the 7 because you, your mom, and dad all have the 7. And I have a 4 and a 7 as well. So we're going to get there. So we'll read a little bit, keeping in mind that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 things I would need to read to you. So when you do a numerology reading with me, you guys, listen, it's a deal because I just charge by the hour, but really I just charge you for one and then I talk forever. Side note. But I have like so much information to share and it's hard to do it all this quickly. So I hope to make sense. So again, Ruby, your whole code is 3, 4. So the Empress, the Emperor, then the 1 is like the magician, the alchemist, the intuitive, somebody who it was the master manifester. I don't want anybody to hear me wrong. You know, the alchemist. I mean, your intuition is beyond par and you have like all the tools to make things happen. And then you have the 7, which is a Cancerian number, the Chariot in tarot, and it's the balance within us and the ability to just move forward. Cancerians are known for being all watery, emotional, but the Chariot is action, all friggin' action. It's like putting a Cancer and a Leo and a Chariot and going. Okay. I just made that up. So keep that in mind. Now your dad, and you could write these and just start to see the connection and understand the numbers have a frequency, a vibration, that feeling, that knowing that we talk about. Your dad is the 4. Mm-hmm. He is the ruler, the emperor. He's got that energy. 2 is the old soul. The very much a sponge, absorbs everybody's emotions, can read the room.
Oh, definitely. God, yes, that was him.
You too. And you both can walk in the room and you read the room. You know who you want to be around. You know, you don't absorb everything as much as he does or did, just possibly. So your dad is 4, 2, 4, 7. Strong man. Your mom, interestingly enough, is a 7 overall. And then she has 7, 6, 3. Mm-hmm. So your mom has this Chariot, strong energy, and all 3 of you have the 7. Let me read that to you first. So we're not leaving your mom out because your mom doesn't have the 4, but she's got the 3. She's got that Empress in her. Your mom has a 6, which mirrors a 9. And the 9 is the 6 is the muse. They're both extremely creative numbers. And the 9 is the prophet. So I just feel like your mom has great wisdom and intuition as well. Like you guys just, if you believe in past lives or even want to go there, you guys knew each other in a past life. You know,
maybe we were sisters because sometimes we argue like we're sisters.
I could kind of say, I could see that. And like where you had to be more of her dad to her. You know what I mean? And I could see where she's very, I hope was very attracted to your dad. And
oh God, yes. I mean,
and that I'm sure he calmed her down. You have a mirror number in you. The 1 is actually a 10. So interestingly enough, I said you're a magician. Sometimes you're very secretive, very private. That's okay. You know, you're making magic and there's just shit you don't want people to know. Excuse my French. But at the same time, that mirrors a 10, which is the butterfly. Like the phoenix always coming out. Honestly, I could put it just that simply. So your code is even longer than what I said because you have a 1 and that mirrors the 10. Your dad doesn't mirror. He was probably pretty stable, absorbing everybody's spinning over here. Does that make any
My
sense?
father, one of the biggest things that my father used to tell me all the time, you cannot change anything about by worrying about it. So why worry? But yet he was the one that he was absorbing everybody's worries, but he didn't want anybody else to worry. That was the
Yeah,
big thing with my dad.
I get that because I have a 4 and a 2 in me. Like I really get that. And I tell people, oh, don't worry, but I am just like the biggest pile of worry you ever met. So would you like, okay, would you like to hear the Empress, the Emperor? Like you want to hear 3, 4, and 7?
I do. I want to hear what that's all about because,
Thank you,
like I said the other
Peggy.
day, for the first time, my friend
Okay.
Miriam sent me how to do the birth chart, but I don't know how to read it.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I have notes on your birth chart like crazy. And one thing I can tell you, you're very strong. Your birth chart. Um, if you look at a birth chart, the lower half, let's say the lower right half, is the more inward vibration. Your chart is all on the upper left side, which is all this outward. I'm loud. I see me. I'm a star. I'm a leader. The connections, your ability to make connections, your ability to have friends, just a lot shows up in your chart for real and in your numbers. As far as like, for example, you have strong placements in your 8th house and 10th and 11th. So your 8th house, let me get my glasses, because as I speak to this, you'll see how the astrology and numerology blend. I believe. I know I'm bouncing around. Am I confusing you, Ruby, by doing this?
Honestly, I mean, like I hear keywords when you start talking about Virgo, Mercury, planets, and things. I kind of disconnect my brain, and I'm focusing on the Emperor, Empress, intuitive, light
All right, let's
energy,
do that.
master.
Yeah, let's not the astrology. Let me tell you, it all fits. It makes sense. And
Okay.
if I would love for your friend to read your chart too. But if you need my notes, I got them. We'll talk. Because it's really amazing, and I think it adds to your spiritual journey and your wanting to help other people so much from everything you've learned. It shows everywhere. All right, so let me start with your overall energy of an empress. And while you hear this, all of you who may have a 3 in your date or something that adds up to a 3, some of it may apply, Ruby, not everything, and don't hate me. This is just like generalities, but it can ring a bell. And remember, Ruby, you have 3 and 4 and 7 in you. So I'm only leaving out the magician, but you can just imagine how magical that is. You know what that is. All right. Empress energy people are highly intuitive, nurturing, supportive, spiritual, and empathetic. Struggles with being able to relax, fear issues, anxiety issues, struggles with the unknown, control issues. We'll talk about that.
For sure.
Manifest. Well, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Manifest fear, knot, and stomach, digestive issues. Impatient, creative, love to see things develop under their careful attention, like times 10. They bring out and inspire qualities of other people. Effective as coaches, teachers, and mentors. Protective, defensive, devoted to family. Struggles with being in the present. Okay. Struggles with living in the moment, struggles with letting go of the past. Maybe we're getting better at it. Has difficulty allowing children to fail. And I know you don't have kids, but anybody out there listening that might help you. Takes on other people's issues. Boundaries, right? Has difficulty maintaining healthy
Right.
boundaries. Struggles with speaking their truth. You said you weren't being heard. Not all of this is true now, but
Right.
communication issues, avoidance issues, some of the health, right? do not like confrontation, has difficulty saying no, burnout issues. So I'm really proud of you for going golfing. Private about personal suffering, people are drawn to your warm, protective nature. Martyr syndrome. I don't get that from you. Maybe. I don't know. Defensive, tend to withdraw when injured. Trust issues, like who doesn't sometimes, takes on the responsibility
Hell
for
yeah.
care. Yeah, right. Like anybody not have a
Big-
problem, takes on responsibility for care of their parents, intimacy issues, guilt issues, self-esteem issues, emotional manipulation issues. And when I talk about these things and control and stuff, it can be done by us or to us. Okay. Like we can be susceptible to stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Often struggles with feelings of dread, deals with feelings of being taken advantage of, struggles with self-care. Not anymore because we're all spoonies. We're spoonies now. Their home is warm and welcoming. They love to cook for people. Is that true?
Yes.
Oh my God. But this is, I get this. Tend to be the last to eat, last to sit down, last to go to bed.
I will not be the last to eat. That's for sure. I taste my food as I'm cooking, where I have to cook for 10 people if only 2 people are coming over.
Yeah, but I feel like you're never really sitting down and everybody's taking care of you. You're taking care of them.
You know,
There's
I
some
think it's
famous
something that I
people
learned from my mom, because my mother's very much like that.
Well, your mom is yeah, she has a 3 in her, and then 2 7s, and yeah, she's very nurturing, very much an old soul. I have an affirmation for you as an empress, okay? Today I will nourish my spirit. This is what you should write down and say to yourself as you drive to your golf course. Today I will nourish my spirit. I will allow myself to receive and know that I am safe to do so. I am good. I am beautiful. I am kind. Yes, ma'am. Do
I
you
love
like
it.
to work? Do you like to work with stones and crystals at all, or
I
have them
actually do
around?
have a big collection back there. And let me just show you something that somebody sent to me today.
Woohoo! How's everybody in the
This.
chat? I love you guys.
My friend Miriam
Yes,
put this
happy to
together,
read.
which has some crystals in there. It's got a bay leaf, a cinnamon stick. It's got the tree of life.
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh, who made
A
that?
couple of spoons. Miriam's Wellspring. And then it's got the little.
follow her. I love her. I want to meet her
So
too.
she made this and sent that to me.
Oh, you guys follow her on TikTok too. She's amazing. Well, keep this in mind, Ruby. Some stones, and these kind of can overlap because each number has affirmations and stones with them. So, but I'll read these real quick. Moonstone helps release fear. Malachite helps release toxic energy. Labradorite connects one to God, universal light. I say God. Bogey stones for grounding and balancing. Smoky quartz for purification. And selenite for protection, for good energy, and it restores your innocence. It's just like, I love selenite. I have it everywhere. So, okay, now let's read Emperor. That very much was your dad. And you as well have this. So, Emperors, natural born leader, father energy of this world, highly intuitive, logical thinker. And my mind goes to rising Virgo, logical thinker. Sorry, blending languages. I'm doing Spanglish. Okay, sorry. So if you think about what you heard in the Empress and the Emperor, you'll see there's some overlap, okay? Has difficulty shutting off the mind. People who lead, I think, are always thinking, creating, thinking, what's the next thing, makes it hard to sleep and all that good stuff. Emperors are practical, quick, dry wit, original, charismatic, need to feel respected, guarded emotionally controlled, intimidating, maybe,
Oh
perceived
yeah.
often perceived often as arrogant, empathy and intimacy issues, emotional boundary issues, trust issues, has difficulty being able to forgive, highly effective at organizing systems as well as their own lives. That's very Virgo-ish. Control freaks, or again, where sometimes you can be controlled. And I wondered, have you ever been married?
Yes. And
Oh,
that was
yes,
one of
the
the reasons
one
why.
marriage. The one
Yeah.
marriage. Did it not last very long?
We were together for 17 years, but
Oh,
you know,
okay.
there were a lot of things going on in there. I was disconnected after 6 months of dating.
Makes
Because there
it, because it doesn't show up in your chart. It's weird.
it was
But you
pretty
might
much.
you might get married or be in a long-term relationship a little bit later in life if you want.
I mean, I don't know how much later we're gonna get. I'm gonna be 53 next month. I mean, how long of a relationship is that gonna be?
Well, remember I told you I'm your older sister that needs her younger sister to tell, because we're 6 years, 5 days apart. I'm gonna be 59. Not fair. You're always gonna be younger, Ruby, and smarter. I need you to tell me what to do.
Stop.
All right, but listen. Control freaks. Fine, we're control freaks. Insightful. Do not like to be confronted or challenged. Reserved. Intelligent. Perfectionist. Philosophical by nature. When confronted with emotion, they prefer to learn the facts. Drawn to quirky people. Tend to take on failures of the family.
Ooh,
A lot of
I
family
lost you there for a second.
tend to take on failures of the family. Am I back?
Ah, gotcha.
Am I
Yes.
back? Okay.
Yes.
So there's a lot of where you feel responsible. And I know as a Cancerian, you do too, where I feel that energy in me, took care of my parents. I feel it. Has difficulty sleeping when stressed or overwhelmed. Responsible, successful, feels pressure to be successful. Financial security is of major importance. Remember, again, this is with you and your dad. Now your mom can really manifest things too, but I think you guys probably reach the goal. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to say that
Yes
your
and
mom
no. So
isn't good at making money, but she was like the nurturer while you guys lead. I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
my father was a very hard worker, and he was always making sure that we had the best of what he could possibly provide for us. My mother has always been a great saver. So whatever came in, and she also busted her hump to be able to do stuff as well. But she was really good at managing the money.
Oh,
My
perfect.
father
Yeah,
and
that
I
makes
were
sense.
yeah. So my father and I very similar in the fact that we have $10, we spend 100. I make $10, I
do
spend
that
$100
too.
somehow. I have no idea how it happens, but guess what? I'm gonna enjoy myself. Whereas my mother, she can take $10 and turn it into 100.
I love
You know what I
that.
mean?
I
So
could see that's exactly what I was trying to say is like yeah, that's exactly. Thank you. I'm just going to leave it there. And this is also true when I talked about you as the alchemist, the magician, and your dad as the old soul and the one and two within you guys. You read each other's minds. And also, again, you both can read the room, as I mentioned, but
yeah.
particularly fours, like your dad, he'll enter the room quietly but powerfully.
That one is a little off. My father was never quiet. My father was always the first one.
I'll take that.
He was the biggest jokester. He always wanted to be the center of attention as far as being the master of ceremonies for different events.
Well, because your dad's a Leo. Your dad's a Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
And your
was
mom,
all very much about that, the presence. And having come
yeah,
here from Puerto Rico in, I believe it was 1968, not knowing the language, my father, he could argue with the best of them. And
yeah.
he accomplished quite a bit. So yeah,
That makes so
interesting.
much sense. Yeah. And when I looked and saw, oh yeah, he's a Leo. No, he's not quite. And your mom's a Sag, very amazing, truth, love, positivity, probably loves to travel or, used to. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that we keep
Dreams of
talking
it
about
and
being
all that.
able to travel again. We've gone on a couple of cruises together.
Oh, I love cruises. Let's take me. I'm down here in Florida. Let's go.
Yeah,
Um,
let's go.
okay, so back to your dad. Withdrawal when and you have this too. Withdrawals when injured, introspective, sensitive. I also have this. I gotta be careful how I say it. Don't like stupid people or methods that are not effective. They
Yeah, no,
stand
that's a
erect.
fact. I have no patience.
Uh, I
I don't have
just
patience. I'm like, listen,
yeah, and like, how do I
how
say
many
this
times am I
without
gonna explain
being
it?
really like, can't deal with people?
Listen, one of the things that I say, I keep it real or I keep it moving. I mean, I say what's on my mind. Sometimes I don't have a filter on my mouth. I do want to help people, but when people don't want to help themselves, I got no
Yeah.
patience. I gotta go. I'm moving on. Goodbye.
You're just stupid. That this
I'm
is
out.
not working. This is ineffective. Bye. Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh. Protective, stubborn, which you said yourself, rigid, predictable, can be
I
difficult
am
to
not my father.
approach. Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. You're a 3 with all those other numbers, and he's a 4 with all the other. So, it's just understanding without going too deep and taking up all your time, how your energies match, mirror, and possibly how you all at another time said, we're going to come to earth here and learn these lessons together and be this cute little family. Because you guys are more connected than most families I look at. There's always like the dad is gone, the mom is gone, a lot of trauma, not negating what you've been through, but I think your childhood was pretty good. Don't know what happened when you were 6, but we'll talk about that. So back to
Yeah.
your dad. Um, oh my gosh. No, okay. Your mom's a 7. It can be difficult to approach. Female emperor energy difficult to mate. That's you, but he wouldn't marry you. Your mom's a 7. But it's
So
cool
wait a
that you
minute.
can.
You're saying that my mother was difficult to approach because when they were
No, your
younger, when they
dad.
first met. Oh, my dad? Oh,
Dad can be, and
oh.
needs to be consulted privately if there's an issue. And a lot of times, emperors won't marry an empress, but your mom just has a little bit in her. Let me read what your mom is. This is her main number, but you and your dad have this 7 in you as well, the chariot, the Cancerian, and so do I. So here we go. Chariot people are able to do the impossible. Dynamic spirit, stubborn. Got a little bit of stubborn in us, don't we? Transparent, mostly. Some people struggle with transparency in this case.
Mm.
Anger issues, abandonment issues. Not everything's going to make sense, but take what does, leave behind what doesn't. Rejection issues, fear issues, trust issues, independent, guarded emotionally, attention seekers, original, boundary issues, requires personal space, commitment issues, energy least likely to marry. I wonder how your mom feels about that. I hope they had a good marriage, long marriage.
They had probably the most loving, most communicative. Listen, today would have been my parents' 55th wedding anniversary. Today would
Oh,
have been my parents' 55th wedding anniversary. My
give
father
her
has
a
now been
hug.
gone. It's going to be 4 years in August. There's not a day that goes by that my mother does not honor my dad, with a prayer, with a song. She tells him that she loves him every single day. We've got like a little thing here, with his ashes and his photo and everything. It's weird because my mother is very particular about doing that every morning when she wakes up. That's the first thing she does. She greets him, and every night before she goes to bed, she says goodnight. I have a tendency of not looking there. I don't look there.
I understand that.
I don't look at the picture. I
I
don't look
do
at that.
look for signs. I ask for signs, numbers, the cards, all of it. I have a great story about a coin my mom left. It's not your average coin, but I love what your mom's doing because I feel like she has that old soul, past life energy, and it's like she's honoring their connection
Yeah.
in the
Yeah, without a
ethereal.
doubt. I mean,
And at
I
those
think that
special times when she wakes and goes to sleep, like they're connecting, and I think that's beautiful. That would be my
that is
interpretation.
absolutely true. That is absolutely true. At least from from some of the things that she's told me. And I don't want anyone to misunderstand. It's not that I don't look at the picture because I don't want to see my dad's face. I see my father's face all day. This is my dad. Okay. I
Oh,
keep
he's
him on
so
my phone.
cute.
My father's with me all the time. Right? I mean, we look like each other.
That was so
um,
cute. Yeah. No, it's we all have
he's
different
with me
ways
all
of
the time. He is always showing me signs, whether through numbers or birds. I connect very deeply with my father through birds. Every single
me too.
morning now, before I start my live stream, I go outside and have my coffee and I listen to the birds wake up. That is my connection to my father energetically,
I'm
which
very
a lot
much
of
that
people don't
way
understand.
too.
So
Very
yeah,
much. And feathers and I got a
all the
whole thing.
signs.
All the signs. And in prayer. Is everybody okay? The signs are everywhere. Yes, they are everywhere. But I love your mom's. We all have different rituals, prayers, times where we feel connected, and that's your mom's thing. And I
Yeah,
believe, with a double seven in her, it's just she can do the impossible, and I do believe that she has had
she
many
has.
past lives.
Yeah.
Now, also, because you guys all have sevens. Um, okay, attention seekers, original, boundary issues, requires personal space, commitment issues. That doesn't apply to her or your dad. I don't know about you. It kind of applies to me. Have difficulty as
I do
has
have,
dif-
I will say, I have commitment issues to myself.
no,
So committing to things that I want to be able to accomplish. For a long time, I used a lot of excuses and a
me too.
lot of things to prevent me from moving forward. So I didn't have that with myself, but with other people, if I make a promise to somebody, like I'm gonna stick to it. But not with
Yeah,
myself. That's the weird thing.
I feel the same way, and that's why when I found you in the mornings and I saw the consistency, the commitment, I'm like, God, I need a piece of that. Yeah, and it's important to have these commitments to ourselves. I love that you pointed that out. Has difficulty asking for help, argumentative, balance issues, grounding issues, charismatic, easily triggered, emotionally reactive, strong of
Oh,
purpose.
oh God, yes. That's definitely me. That's definitely me.
Self-directed, self-motivated, somewhat self-absorbed, confrontational, challenges authority, communication issues. I don't know. We talked about that before. I think you felt silence, but certainly not anymore.
And it's
Honest.
still a learning process.
I think
It's
it's
still
all
a
hard
learning
for us
process.
to have some difficult
Yeah.
conversations and all that. Yeah. Can be unforgiving. Man, I can really hold a grudge. Stuff I
Yeah.
have to work on.
I
Honest.
honestly, I remove myself from people's lives. I just don't.
Oh yeah. Yeah. When I'm
I don't
done.
get argumentative. I don't go back and forth on text messages. I simply remove myself from their life. There's no reason for that, because guess what? Most people that are not treating you properly while you're a part of their life, they're not going to care what you're feeling feeling after you decide I'm not going to be here anymore.
Yeah, that's so true. And one of my numbers, it says cuts all ties when betrayed. Yeah, that's me. That's me. Thrives on challenging situations. Likes to overcome obstacles. And this is, again, the 7 in all of you. Ambitious, emotional, sensitive, competitive, fear of failure, confident, indecisive. And I don't know, with all the emperor and empress energy, you guys are making decisions. Enthusiastic, energetic, untiring. Aha. There she goes. Impulsive and relentless. Now, some famous chariots. Let's talk about this. And don't be mad at me if you don't like some of them. Lady Diana, Lady Diana, Marilyn Monroe, Muhammad Ali, Farrah Fawcett Majors, Pink, Christian Bale. Pink. Yeah, I like Pink. Christian Bale, Stephen Hawking, John Kennedy Jr. He was so cute. Johnny Depp, Billy Idol, George Bush Sr. That's where I usually, people don't like me talking about politics. Okay. Now, yes.
Are there a lot more numbers to go through? Let me just go through the comments here real quick.
Let's see the comments. How are we doing?
Show. Cancer, like that.
There's so much to say, but I'm going to read just an affirmation about this that I hope will help everybody that is a 7, has a 7 in them, all this. And then, you know, I know you've got to go because just tell me, because there's so much more to say. And what what I will do, Ruby, is, and I want to do this for Reese too. I'm going to put together all of the information for all of your numbers and like a legacy reading with your parents, so you can have an overall, like a report for you. Okay. As a thank you for
that would be fantastic. And I actually would love to talk to you a little bit more, because I want to include my little brother. My little brother has been told many times, even when he was about 5 years old, that he was an old soul. So, you know, that's something a little bit more personal, a little bit more private that I would rather discuss with you.
I'll put it here, and yeah, shoot me his, you can text me his numbers and I'll add it and do this beautiful report for you guys. So because there's so much more to say. But I love this affirmation for you and your mom. Maybe she can pray about it. I acknowledge that I have had an armor on my body, because chariots are soldiers in past lives, heroes, soldiers. Like, I wonder if your mom or any of you dream of being on a war battlefield in the past, or I was a nurse taking care of soldiers, or those kind of feelings, you know, are worth diving into. So I acknowledge I have had an armor on my body. It was there to protect my heart. I have been angry. I have felt great sadness. I am most grateful that I had the courage to look at my life. I am in a beautiful place. I am now ready to let go. I will let go of all of it, everything, and embrace the beauty of the light. And then also,
I love it. I love it.
Because in some of these crossover, but Jade promotes love, acceptance, compassion, self-love, and also money. Can't leave that out. Labradorite, which we mentioned. Malachite, which I think we mentioned, helps release toxins. Okay. Carnelian helps heal wounds of the heart, and courage. And then did I say smoky quartz?
You did not, but I have all of these.
Cool. So that's a taste. And then some years, which I might be a little off. But again, I was looking at things to talk to you in the future about. 1979, 1988. And, you know, the energies before and after these years will matter. 1997, 2006, 2015, 2024. But I'm based on what you said, I'm thinking 22, but yeah, 20. 24?
2024 to me, first of all, that was really where I found my purpose. All right. 2022 was when I got my kidney transplant, but I was still kind of, going through the whole thing of really wrapping my brain around it. It wasn't until November of 2024 where all of this started coming together. So that to me is very powerful. 1997 was the year that I got married.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. And what's interesting about 2024, 25, 26, like you've had this whole rebirth, like I said. And then in astrology, you had the wounded healer come back in your birth chart where it was before to like heal a lot of that. And you just have like a whole new awakening. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And such cool ties to your mom and dad. We'll talk about your brother and certainly anything else you have that you'd like to know, shoot me a text. And in the meantime, I'll put together some kind of cool report for you.
That would be
My
fantastic.
little soul sister.
I love that.
Like
I've never had anything like this done before.
Well, thank you for being open to it. And when we talked about how I met Cosmic Connections, how I meet these people, and you don't just randomly meet people. That's the thing. And so there was this weird connection through Mama Peep, who is very religious, that I was like, oh my God, I'm in love with Ruby. Will she come and listen to what I have to say, or is this going to freak her out? And again, then no, you started pulling angel number cards. I was like, I need her. I need her in my life.
It's amazing to me, and I tell people all the time, the angel cards are not necessarily about religion. They're really about opening up your heart and mind to receiving a positive message, because some people hear angels, they're like, oh, you're talking about religion. First of all, chronic illness, chronic pain, and mental health issues, my whole Rise with Purpose, they don't discriminate. They don't give a crap about your political affiliation, your religious beliefs, your skin color, your height, your weight, your age, your sexual preference. It doesn't matter. And in my live streams in the morning, it doesn't matter either. We come together under the umbrella of knowing that we can be there to support each other and to uplift each other. That's the important thing to me.
And I love it. And thank you for sharing this today with everybody and just being here for me and being there every morning for all of us, but really, truly, I feel so blessed to have met you. And what else are they saying here?
Let's see.
Michael. Just Michael's being silly. Michael, don't do that. You are an angel on earth. You're doing amazing things. So I know you've got to go. Much love to your mom.
Thank you so much. I think I heard
we got to talk to your mom. Like she's just, I want to know how she feels about some of this too. Like she's got amazing energy. I just love all the numbers. Wait till you see it all on paper. You're going to love it. So just thank you again. I hope everybody, you guys will, come on, go on TikTok. I promise they're not coming for you.
You're not going to be disappointed. Listen, I mean, I'm a little bit funny. I'm a little bit spicy. I'm going to be a whole lot of mindsets, motivation, inspiration, but I keep it real. Sometimes I have no filter. I'm learning how to navigate that because I realize that a lot of people don't get me and they get upset with me. I had somebody this morning, as a matter of fact, in my live stream that she continues to send me messages because she's angry that I muted her in my live stream, but she came in real strong with what she was talking about. And I'm trying to help people out, but at the same time, I cannot control how somebody else acts. I can only control how I react.
I know that happens on all platforms to everybody. And some of my people follow Relatable Reese on YouTube, and she's been going through it. And she got good advice. It's called, we call it the cult of 15. 85% of the people are going to be there. They're going to support you. They got your back. There's always going to be that 15% that are like,
exactly. And like I said, I we can't control them, but we can control how we react to them. So, like I always say at the end of my live streams, it's not what you go through that matters. It's how you choose to get through it that counts. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Liz.
I love you, Liz. You got to come on. Let's talk soaps and stuff.
Not just soaps, body butter in
Oh,
coffee
yes.
scents.
And I want some scrub too. I want the whole shabam.
I love it. I love it.
Yes. All
Well,
right.
thank
Well,
you
I
again,
know.
sweetheart. I truly, truly appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to us building our friendship further.
Oh, me too. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. I love you so much already. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, bye, everybody. Listen, I will be back Tuesday to read for you. So you guys, please subscribe, follow me. Be sure to follow Ruby. But if you would like readings, you want to try a free one, check me out Tuesday here on the tube at 1 p.m. as long as I'm being consistent. Okay. Peggy, thank you as always for being here.
Thank you, everybody.
And yes, thank you, Peggy. Thank you again, Ruby. I love you. We'll chat soon.
All right, sweetheart. Thank you. Enjoy.
Okay, you too. Have a great day.